Welcome to all of you in this video in which we will be performing one of the experiment based on op-amp of paper DSE 604B. The aim of the experiment as given in experiment number 7 is to design the inverting and non-inverting amplifier using an op-amp of given gain. This experiment is available in the book written by Professor N.N. Ghosh. It is experiment number 64 and page number 231. Page number 231. You have already studied about op-amps in detail in theory, so I will not go in detail, but the symbol, as you can observe, is like this, where these two are for input, then V plus, V minus and output voltage. This is the symbol. This is realized by the IC 741, which has 8 legs. 8 legs, and they have their own connections. Number 1 for offset null, number 2 inverting, number 3 non-inverting, number 4 V minus, number 5 offset null, number 6 output, number 7 V plus, and number 8 there is no connection. But out of these 8 we have to use only 5 because op-amp is a 5 terminal device. The detailed theory is given in this book also. You can go through this one. Now, the first we have to design the inverting amplifier. So, for inverting amplifier, we have to use the leg numbers 2, 3, 4, 6 and 7, as you can see here. This is the connection of the circuit diagram for inverting amplifier, and its practical realization on the 741 IC is here. Now you can observe this 741 IC. Where there are 8 legs. There is a notch on the left side. From that, the lower one, the first one, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 numbered legs, and opposite to that, from right to left, we will go for now you can also understand, it's not very clear in the picture. It will be 5, 6, 7 and 8. So from the notch you have to keep the notch on the left hand side, and from that, from the lower legs you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the upper legs from right to left 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this op-amp circuit for inverting amplifier is realized through the 741 IC, and the circuit diagram for practical realization is given here. Now, as you can observe, we are using the terminals 2, 3, 4, 6 and 7 only. That means we are using these 5 terminals. Now, the connections here are 2 to 6. Here we connect RF. 2 to the oscillator. This resistance is the input resistance. The ratio of RF by Ri gives you the ACL, closed loop gain. Here in this video we will be taking this as 10 kilo ohm and this one as 1 kilo ohm, so that my gain is 10. Then the connection is from oscillator, it is grounded, and across the oscillator there is a voltmeter. Similarly, 4 is connected to minus 15 volt, 7 is connected to plus 15 volt, 3 is directly grounded. From 6 the output is taken through a voltmeter. A voltmeter is there, the other terminal of the voltmeter is grounded, whereas the second connection from 6 is that RF. Now this has been realized, but we will not be using 2 voltmeters. Instead of that we will be using 1 voltmeter using a two-way key. The connection will be like this. For this voltmeter, the connection here will be sent to the end terminals, this one and this one, these two terminals, to the end terminals of the two-way key, this one and this one. And from middle the voltmeter's input is taken. Voltmeter's input is taken. This is solid state AC millivoltmeter. Here we have a particular range selection in volts as well as millivolt, and the scale is given here. So according to the selection of the range we can observe the reading. So whatever be the value, we have to choose the correct range, and so that we can get accurate values of the voltages. So both the voltmeter, 2 voltmeters are replaced by one using a two-way key. When we connect it through this voltmeter, that will give you the output, and when we will connect the voltmeter to the oscillator with the other end, then it will give you the input voltage. This circuit has been realized on this universal breadboard. We have placed the IC 741 here, have used RF as 10 kilo ohm, you can read it with the color code, and input as 1 kilo ohm, and the proper connection has been made with the power supplies, as you can see, plus 15 volt, ground, minus 15 volt, and the output we are taking through this solid state AC voltmeter. Now we start our experiment. After this connection is completed, we first take the input voltage, and as you can see here, the first upper terminal of this two-way key is connected to the input. So when this key is given here, the voltmeter shows the input voltage, and this second, the lower terminal of the two-way key is connected to leg number 6. So it will give you the output when the key is placed in this position. So upper one will give you the input voltage, and the lower one will give us the output voltage. Now, to record the readings, we have to make a table like this, that is frequency in hertz, input voltage in millivolt, output voltage in millivolt, and we have to calculate the gain. As we know, the gain is output voltage by input voltage. This you have to do, and you have to calculate this dB equal to 20 log AV. That also you have to calculate. Now, the oscillator, we have already used it. Now it has a frequency multiplier. We will start our frequencies with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 like that till 100, then 200, 300, 400, 500 till 1000, then 2000, 3000 like that up to 10,000, and again 20,000 till 90,000. We have to change the frequencies and have to take the input as well as the output voltage. Generally, the input voltage does not change if you do not change the solid state AC multimeter scale or as the range of the millivolt meter. When you change the voltage, change the range, at that time you have to adjust the input voltage to a fixed value by using this lower knob, by using this knob in the oscillator. Now we start the experiment. First of all, we take the amplifier 1. Here the frequency multiplier as 1 we will press, and then we will take here at the lower end, you can see is multiplier 100, multiplier 10 and multiplier 1. You can easily observe there are 3 multipliers. Knobs have 3 types of multipliers, as well as there is a push button multiplier. So when it is 1 and multiplier 10, that will denote 1 into 10, 10. Right now it is at 0, or you can keep it 1 and you can use the multiplier 100 for 100, 200, 300 like that. It is now at 0. You can observe it is also at 0, and multiplier 1 is also 0. You can keep the multiplier at 10 from the push button and can take this multiplier 1 also for 10, 20, 30, 40. But here I am taking the multiplier 1, so I will be using this knob for getting the frequency, desired frequency. Now I make it 10, then we take this as input voltage. I have selected 150 millivolt. I have selected the range 150 millivolt. So right now I want to fix it at a value of, so the upper scale will be taken where there is 15 divisions. There is 15 divisions. So I want to make it 10 millivolt. By moving the knob in the oscillator, I increase this to 10 millivolt. 10 millivolt, this is the input voltage, and then I put the key for output voltage here. The output voltage what we get is 10.5. So what we observe, for input voltage 10 millivolt, the output voltage is 105. So if I take the gain, then it will be 105 by 10, that is 10.5, which is nearly equal to our theoretical value, which is RF by RI, that is 10 kilo ohm by 1 kilo ohm. So that we are near that. Likewise, I change the value to 20 here and we observe it here. Practically there is no change in the output voltage. The input voltage, because we are not changing the range of the millivoltmeter, solid state millivoltmeter, so the input voltage will not change, practically will not change. Again, I am changing from the oscillator the frequencies. You can observe that it is still like that. It is still around 105 millivolt. Whenever the needle is oscillating, that means I am changing the frequency. Like that, for every value we will check. It is practically 105 millivolt. Now we will change the value of the frequency to, after getting 100, we will go for 200. There was some fluctuation in the supply, so it was oscillating too much. Now you can observe it is again 105 millivolt. I am in the range now with 100, 200, like that we will go up to 900. Go up to 900. And still you will observe that the gain is, the output voltage is 105 and the gain is 10.5. Now after that, in the oscillator we will change the multiplier, push button multiplier, to 10 and will use 100 multiplier knob to get 100 into 10 is 1000, 1000, 2000, 3000, like that we will change the frequency. Now like this, and you can still observe. Now as the multiplier has been changed, so we have to check the input voltage. Now you can observe the input voltage has changed. So again, using the knob, we will make the input voltage to be 10 millivolt. So intermittently you must observe the input voltage also. And we have to keep it to the particular fixed value. Then when we go for the output, it will be, now in this range. So again check the input, it is 10. The output, now the output has come down. Now I have kept it at 1000. Check the input, it is 10 millivolt. The output, now the gain has gone down. Again check, it should be near about 10. The input is 10 millivolt. The output you can observe is nearly 100 millivolt. So the gain is still 10. In the previous range of 10 until 1900, it is 900, that was 10.5, but due to some fluctuation or other things, and we are changing the multiplier or the ranges, it comes to be, it has changed to the gain 10. Now when we change it, you can observe the value remains nearly to that value, 2000, 3000, 4000. Now it has again has come to be 10.5. So we will again check the input voltage. Now it has a little bit higher. So intermittently we have to check, we have to keep the input voltage fixed. Otherwise, for every reading you must take the input as well as the output. Again check the input. Now can this is 10 millivolt and output it is near about 100 millivolt. Likewise, either you keep one of the range fixed and then take the output for whole the range like 10, 20, 30, 40 till 90. When you change the range to 100 to 900, you check the input and take the outputs for each frequency. Similarly, when you go for the 1000 hertz range, 1000 to 9000, you do like this. Again check the input and the respective outputs. Or for every reading you can check the input as well as the output. After that, when we reach the 100 multiplier, and use the knob of multiplier 100, then it is 10,000, and the frequency here, if we move the knob, it will be 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 like that. So at 10,000, what we get, the input as 10 millivolt, the output becoming a little bit lower. When we go for 20,000, the gain still becomes a little bit lower. 30,000, 40,000, it goes on decreasing. So in the very high frequency range, the gain drops. When we get this table, of input voltage and output voltage with the gain and the dB value, after that we draw graph on a semi-log graph paper. On a semi-log graph paper which is available in the lab, or you can get it from outside also. Semi-log graph paper, as you can observe here, it is written semi-log graph paper. In this, when it is kept like this, the semi-log graphs, you can observe, has different types of divisions. All the divisions are not uniform. The non-uniform divisions range is, or this one is the frequency axis, whereas the uniform division axis we keep AV, or the output voltage. Or the dB value. If we keep the dB value, then you can see that the dB value depends on the AV value. So the gain, on the basis of the gain, we observe that it is mostly straight line. The value does not change till you can say 10,000 or 20,000 hertz frequency, but after that it starts decreasing. This is the nature of the graph that you have to draw. This is for inverting one. The same thing you have to do with non-inverting also. Now in this graph you can see there are two lines. That means there are two gains are there. Here in the experiment we are going through. In this one I have taken the gain around 10 by keeping RF as 10 kilo ohm and RI as 1 kilo ohm. You can keep both 10 kilo ohm so that your gain is 1. So at least two cases you have to take, for inverting as well as for non-inverting. Two cases in each, in the inverting amplifier, and also two cases in non-inverting amplifier. The same thing is done also in the non-inverting one. The non-inverting amplifier circuit is here. You can see only your connections will be different from the non-inverting. We will be using the same legs of the IC, that is 2, 3, 4, 6 and 7. But now the connection here you can see from 2 we are connecting this 10 kilo ohm, and from 2 also a 10 kilo ohm which will directly go to the output 6. So this is RF and this is RI. RF by RI, here it is 1, 10 kilo ohm by 10 kilo ohm. This circuit is realized practically on this 741 by using this connection. Here you can again observe from 2 we bring out two connections. Leg number 2, from leg number 2 we bring out two connections. In one connection RF is connected of your choice and is connected to 6. The RI again of your choice, it is also connected through 2, leg number 2 to the ground. From 3, we now take the connection to the oscillator. The oscillator connection is given in leg number 3, and the other connection of the oscillator is grounded. A voltmeter is connected across the oscillator to take the input voltage. The output voltage is again taken from 6, where another voltmeter is connected. Now again, when you will realize this on the breadboard, you have to use a two-way key so that you can use the solid state AC millivoltmeter and take the input and output through the same voltmeter. So from here you see the connection for taking the voltage. This connection is to be given to the two-way key, one end of the two-way key, and this connection is to be given to the other end of the two-way key, and from the middle one, that will be grounded, and you will get the voltages, both input and output voltage, by switching over the keys. So this will be, I think you will be able to make this connection and take the reading as taken in case of this inverting amplifier connection. And you will note down the observations, the input and output voltage for different frequencies, and then the graph is drawn on a semi-log graph paper. Thank you.